Hey Wray Gang, happy Thanksgiving. DJ and I are so grateful that you guys decided to hop on our channel to listen to our new true crime story. So thank y'all so much, and without further ado, let's get into this story. Alrighty, you guys. So this story takes place in 2014. The Reddit reader name was Sarah. She has been working at a local grocery store in her town for about the last 2 years. She's enjoyed working at the grocery store because she sees a lot of her childhood friends. She also gets to see a lot of her old teachers and some of her local friends. So she's always enjoyed working there. This particular story takes place around Thanksgiving, and because she's worked there the last 2 years, she understands what's required of them to work at a grocery store during the holiday season. So typically she would get off about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, but because it was Thanksgiving Day, her manager asked her if she mind working until 7. Now this is kind of abnormal for her because her commute from her grocery store to her home is about 40 minutes. But her family typically eats really late, and then on Thanksgiving, they eat even later because not only does she work, but her dad works at a local mill, and her mom is also a homemaker. So just to give them time, they had already set aside for them to eat dinner for Thanksgiving about 8 or 9 that night. So she told her manager, of course, I'll stay over and help close. So Thanksgiving Day, it was super busy as expected, but they made it throughout the day. She helped to tidy up some of the end caps, made sure that the store was adequately closed to prepare for the next day, and so she left. As she got in her car, she heard that dreadful sound, the gas light ding, and she knew that her commute was about 40 minutes. So she decided that instead of trying to hopefully make it home, she was going to stop at a gas station that's kind of the halfway mark in between her job and her home. She typically don't stop at this gas station because it kind of gives her a really eerie feeling. Not that anything has ever happened. It's just very dim lighted. It's not a lot of business there. And she's just kind of driven past it and almost looks like a ghost town to her. But she knew that she had to get gas tonight, and she was in fear that if she didn't, she may not make it home, or worse, she would get home and then they would need something, and there was no open gas stations around her. So as she pulled into the gas station, of course she was the only one there because it's Thanksgiving. So as she got out of the car, she kind of peeked around the gas station and saw that there was one person, a clerk in the gas station. And the clerk was kind of creepy looking. He didn't do anything, but he just looked awkward to her. And as she kind of glanced around, he did this really weird, awkward and she kind of was like, okay. And then out of the corner of her eye, she saw this guy walking up to her. As she looked, she saw that he was dressed in a pilgrim's outfit, but it was a really dirty, dingy pilgrim's outfit. And at that split second, she was like, what's going on? And she knew that she wanted to keep looking at the guy with the pilgrim's outfit on, but then the gas station clerk was also, she just felt his eyes on her. So curiosity got the best of her. So she kind of jetted her eyes over to the gas station clerk, and he wasn't looking at her any longer. So then she kind of jetted back to where the pilgrim homeless man was, and he wasn't there. So she decided, let me hurry up, let me get this gas so I can get out of this gas station's parking lot. So she's getting the gas, and then all of a sudden she hears a beating on the glass, but not her glass, but from the gas station. She kind of peers across the gas station pump again, and the clerk is kind of beckoning for her to come in. And she kind of looks at him, and he's kind of but this time his look's not creepy. She can't really quite put her finger on how he's looking. She kind of understands the urgency, but he was so awkward with her. So she decided to just dismiss him. Then he beat again. She peered across and was like, "What are you doing?" And he's constantly begging from her. So then all of a sudden, the intercom on the gas station pump and was like,
"Ma'am, can you come here for a second? There's a discrepancy with your car."
And she was like, "No, I'm not coming in. The pump is running fine." And he
said, "Ma'am, please, there's a discrepancy with your car. We really need for you to come in."
And she said, "No, I'm not coming in." And all of a sudden, the gas pump just stopped. And so then she kind of peered across the pump again and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he was like,
"Ma'am, please come in."
And so she kind of gave him the finger like, "What is up with you, bro?" And he was like,
"Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I know that's the inconvenience. I promise you I will explain everything to you. And I will even reimburse you your gas. But it's really important for you to please come into this gas station."
And so she begrudgingly grabbed her bag that was kind of coming off her shoulder. She just kind of tucked her bag real close up to her and was like, "Fine." So she goes to walk into the gas station. The clerk comes around the counter, meets her at the door. The moment that she comes into the gas station, he locks the door and she quickly pulls her pepper spray out of her bag like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. When you were pumping your gas, I saw someone get into your back seat. I've already called the police. I just did not want you to get into your car and he was in your back seat. Her heart stopped. In that instant, all of that frustration and anger that she had towards him immediately went away because she realized that if it wasn't for him, she was going to be possibly getting into a car with a random person. Maybe about 5 minutes later, the police pulled up. When the police pulled up, they went straight to her vehicle, and she literally could have just dropped everything out of her hands when she saw the Pilgrim homeless man emerge from her back seat. She said that she instantly just gasped because she was wondering where he went to, but not in a million years would she have expected for him to be in her back seat. And she started thanking the gas station clerk so much, like, thank you so much for getting my attention. Like, I'm sorry for having an attitude. I'm sorry for flipping you off. She was like, I was just really trying to get home. And the gas station clerk was like, "Ma'am, I understand. I'm sorry for this commotion. I just didn't feel comfortable with you leaving." The police officer came in after they detained the man and asked her, "Ma'am, do you know him?" And she said, "No, officer. I'm just now getting off of work. I just needed to get gas before I headed home." The police officer said, "Well, ma'am, I'm just so grateful that you did not pull off. We've been looking for him for the past week." They had a Thanksgiving Day parade where one of the parade goers were found stripped of his pilgrim's outfit in a dumpster. They didn't know who it was. They didn't have any clues, and they had just been kind of on a manhunt for an individual. And to find this guy in her back seat with the pilgrim outfit on, they knew who it was. He even had the same knife used to unalive the parade goer in his pocket. The police told her, of course, we don't know what his motives were, but if we are led to believe or led to think about what he's done in the past, we could only suspect of what he had intentions on doing with you. Sarah's parents ended up coming to the gas station to be with her, and the police ended up charging the Pilgrim homeless man with the murder of the parade goer and with the possibility and with the intent of theft for breaking into Sarah's car. Of course, Sarah never could ever stop at that gas station again. And she just honestly just ended the story with saying that you never know what's going on around you. So it's so important to have your doors locked, to be vigilant at all times, and just to be mindful that there are so many crazy and deranged people in this world, and that you have to always be on your P's and Q's. Alrighty, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this true crime Thanksgiving edition story that we told. Please be sure that you like our video and let us know what you thought about this story. Y'all, I honestly think that although DJ has always told me to be like vigilant and to be mindful, just kind of hearing these near misses just makes me want to just take a little bit extra time to make sure that my doors are locked, making sure that I'm like looking around in my surroundings, that I'm just not exposing myself to potential harm. Of course, you can never ever expect or assume what someone's behavior is going to be, but I'm just wanting to be extra careful. Guys, we hope that you enjoyed this true crime story, and we can't wait to see you with our next one. Please be safe and have a happy holiday.